接下来呢，我们要欢迎从日本前来的 PSYGIG， 有请我们看一下 VCR。
Hi, I'm Gary from PSYGIG. Our mission is to accelerate data-driven robotics. We help engineers make safer mobility IoT by accelerating the development process with our API, SDK, and SaaS platform. In 2015, Tesla deployed their autopilot feature supporting semi-autonomous driving. A car relying on the feature got into a fatal accident. They later said that its camera failed to distinguish between a white truck versus the bright sky. They later added better sensors to the new version of their vehicle. The market expects a huge number of mobility IoT, an increasing number of startups and large companies working on self-driving car, autonomous drones, and humanoid robot. In order for them to understand the physical world around us, they rely on sensors generating 2,000 times more data than your typical mobile device. With all this increasing complexity, safety is a major concern. However, it is very difficult to find and fix all the engineering issues before a product gets shipped to the consumer. Why is that? Well, engineers might not be using the best available sensor or hardware components due to the lack of time or information. Engineering is expensive. In order to meet the deadlines, the managers might get the engineers to cheat, lie about the product development. And lastly, it is very, very expensive to process all the cloud computing data. That's why we created PSYGIG, a cloud-based mobility IoT tool for application performance management, APM, and diagnostics. The benchmarking tools help engineers find and use the best sensors in their application. API, SDK, and SaaS saves engineering time. For the automotive and robotics engineers, they might not be the experts in cloud computing on big data. Our turnkey solutions make it super simple to do processing on the edge and on the cloud for everyone. For our product, we focus on these three features. The first one, the quick integrations. Similar to Google Analytics, the engineers just have to copy and paste the code into their application. With instant notification on errors, all the team members get to see the error analytics online right away, solve the issues together much quicker, and then share the status with the other team and departments, such as public relations or the customer success team. This is our dashboard showing a benchmark of multiple computer vision algorithms. Well, the one with high accuracy is going to be safer for all the consumer. And below, you have the CPU and memory usage over time, which determines the battery life of the machine. So without the SDK or cloud processing, the companies that we talked to spent over a week to try to copy data from the SD card from the machine to local computers, run the scripts manually, upload to Google Drive, email to the colleague before other team members know what happened. And PSYGIG cuts this process into hours. We want to do this so that the teams has additional time to test additional versions for a safer product. As you know, iOS and Android dominate the mobile market. However, over 2.5 billion devices are sending mobile data to third-party solutions like Crashlytics, now Fabric, Apps Dynamics, and New Relic for monitoring purposes. And we want to do the same for mobility IoT. because there will be a lot of those in the next few years. Okay. So we talked to over 50 different robotic organizations when we were working on the product market fit. A lot of them have very similar problems. We're not working very closely with a couple companies, and we just signed multiple deals last month. So we just founded the company early this year. We got seed funding from a very well-established investment firm in Japan, and we are now making multiple million Japanese yen per month. To monetize, we offer the SaaS offering and on-premise. So we want like massive computation on the cloud, and that's why we need the Alibaba cloud credits, and we can make really good use of them. The community is very important to us. We organize hackathons, technical workshops where automotive and robotics engineers come, network, and share the best practice in technologies with us. By providing the best support for the major sensors and platform, we get to help companies who are in automotive and robotics industry. Similar to the Unity game engine, our goal is to provide the support for all the major mobility IoT machines. However, we expect engineers to develop applications not just for one car or one drones, but applications that use a fleet of cars or a swarm clusters of drones. There will be a demand for a new generation of tools, and we want to be the first to support them. With a mobility IoT network, things will get even more interesting. There will be a need to give users the power to manage permission access control. People will want to know and how to figure out how to coordinate multiple machines that are flying around in the physical space. And there will be a need for users to manage the time sharings of their machines and devices. So we're targeting a very challenging market, but our teams have very relevant expertise, especially in embedded system, hardware diagnostics, machine learning, and big data. So our team members come from 5 different countries. I work on big data platform at multiple Y Combinator-backed startup in Silicon Valley. And my co-founder is a principal engineer for a hardware diagnostic and benchmarking software. Together, we also work in Japan at multiple engineering firms. So we understand the culture of different countries pretty well. In summary, engineering is complicated and expensive. Engineers are always very busy. So invest in the next generation of tools so that they can provide us safer mobility IoT products. Thank you.
Well, arigato for PSYGIG from Japan. 我们先来看看评委有什么问题. Let's take some questions from the judges.
Thank you for presentation. Good presentation. Can you share a real successful case?
Okay, so one of our customers is a top drones company in Japan. And they are really busy because, well, the engineering resources is very limited, okay? And they are, like most of the engineers resources in the whole world is quite limited right now. And a lot of them are like busy working on the core products, on the autonomous brain, right? The software that runs it. But we're not doing that. We're not building the next self-driving car. The big companies are working on that. We're just building the tools. So for that particular client, right, we are just helping with the benchmarking and all these tools so that they can deliver faster. And that's very important. By delivering a few months faster, they can win the market, right? If not, if they're a few months behind, they might lose the market. So that's one of the cases. And however, because they are backed by military and government, so we can't say too much about it.
最后那一排的这位先生。
As we know, there are too many protocols in IoT real environment. So, which market is your major or will you target?
Right. So we are very different than the traditional IoT. Like IoT has been around for like 6, 7 years, right? We've been talking about it all the time. We're focusing on moving IoT. There's not even a term for it. That's why we are using the one somehow people understand, mobility IoT. We are focusing on moving robots that move. We're not talking about the smart like refrigerator, like we don't care about that. Like safety is major concern for those moving robot, and that's what we're cared about the development. Most likely for consumer, they will come, consumer product might come out in the next few years. So that's why people or engineers are really busy working on those right now.
Yes, from Gary.
Yes, so very interesting. Pick up on your comment about people are working on this stuff right now, and I get that.
Yeah.
My question is your business model sustainable in, say, 5 years' time, when I think the market around robotics and moving robotics will have matured substantially? And what do you think about that, and how will you manage it as a business?
Yeah, I mean, the market researchers are going to know the market maybe probably better than me, right? The prediction is, I mean, the slides earlier, there's like 470 million mobility IoT devices. And like right now, people are only doing software for like one individual device. There's going to be so much more opportunities when you have software using multiple devices, right? People are not even doing that because they don't have the tools, they don't have the resources. I mean, we're not doing that right now, right? But I mean, we need to start here first. And this is very important that we get like the investment, the resources needed, provide them tools, and then we can move on from there.
还有其他问题吗？来自我们的评委？没有。那我们来问问看，我们这边其他团队的成员有没有问题问到我们来自日本的 PSYGIG？ 有吗？好的，没有。Okay, I think you're released. Thank you very much.